that's been a remarkable technical advance in the field.
Dr. Radoff said it's superior to growing the bacterium themselves, which required using rabbits because it won't grow in a lab dish.
If you have to strain, that's a much better way to tell whether the vaccine, the antibodies you're generating actually kill the strains, because you actually have the strain.
And the more strains they can sequence around the world, the more likely they are to develop a vaccine that's effective around the world.
What you want to make sure is that you develop a vaccine that is not only going to be useful here in Hartford, Connecticut, right? You want a vaccine that's going to be useful throughout the world, especially in areas that are highly endemic for this disease.
And while there are never any guarantees of success when it comes to vaccine development, both doctors told me the results of their study are encouraging. So that's good.
Tim, thanks. We'll do this more. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved a schizophrenia treatment for adults. The oral medication under the name Cobenfy aims to treat schizophrenia by selectively targeting receptors that are in the brain. It's recommended that the drug be taken twice a day, and it is projected for the medication to be available late next month. Cobenfy will cost $1,850 for a 1-month supply before insurance or any other rebates. Some organizations across the country who help women pay for abortions and travel costs for the procedure are now having to cut back on funding. Abortion funds have been around for decades, but now organizers are having to cap how much aid that they give. The National Abortion Federation, which helps women seeking abortions across the country, used to cover half of the cost, but since July, it's pulled back to 30%. Oh, things are getting crafty and conscious at the Durham Fair today. A new plastic project from UHart professor Ken Owens is going to be part of the fair. Owens is the same artist who made that giant whale display that now hangs at Bradley. Later on today, Jimmy Altman is going to chat with her about the plastic project. And check this out. NASA relaunched its murals for the NASA Arts program in New York City. 2 new murals, space-themed, can be seen on the Hudson Square neighborhood in Manhattan. The aim of the arts program is to inspire the next generation to be curious and should dream big.
It is 8:39, and we are still tracking what is now Tropical Storm Helene.
On the other side of this break, we're going to take a look at a new perspective of the storm's strength. Stay with us.
We think about community, the communities we serve and support, and all the amazing people and organizations that are making a difference, shining a light on those making days better and brighter, to keep people informed and inspired. That's how I can make a difference, and that's why I do this. I'm Fox 61's Keith McGilvey, and when you think about the news, choose the news that thinks about you.
Ask any opponent. UConn football means business. Call the law offices of Monk, East, Salamone, and Morelli. 1-800-WIN-WIN-1 with the Salamone and Morelli advantage. Salamone and Morelli is the exclusive personal injury law firm of the UConn Huskies.
Thank you all for being here. I'm going to be super quick.
When you go through these life experiences, being homeless, a high school dropout, a teenage mom, having to work your way back.
Every single one of those experiences made me who I am. I want to make sure that we are bringing everybody along. Jobs, housing.
Women have control over their bodies. We want the exact same things no matter where we come from. The cities, small rural communities, or suburbs.
I want to roll up my sleeve and get this done.
I'm Johanna Hayes, and I approve this message.
Save big on furniture packed with innovative features during the final weekend of Raymore and Flanagan's fall sale. Unwind in luxury with up to $1,000 off sectionals and sofas with power recliner and headrest. And get up to $250 off recliners with power lift and heating options. Plus, save on items with amazing features like heated massage seats, cooling technology, USB charging, and more. This is the final weekend for huge savings on pieces that blend comfort and technology at Raymore and Flanagan.
And here we are on the world's biggest stage.
Oh yeah, this team is locked in.
Right. This is their moment.
Yes.
They brought the talent together. They put the pieces in place. And now, here they are at at the top.
No question, this is next level. We're watching the best of the best. Just elite.
Yes.
Not regionally, nationally.
With e-inspection, Meineke checks my auto and sends photos of the parts that need work. There are rarely any surprises. So I added a few. Surprise! I only trust Meineke with Meineke.
Fox 61 Weather Impact will keep you informed on everything you need to know. Fox 61 Weather Impact, your weather when you need it.
Motorcycle accidents cause devastating injuries. What you do next is very important.
That's why I called the law offices of Marquis Salomon and Morelli.
With the Salomon and Morelli Advantage. Call 1-800-WIN-WIN-1.
The latest news, weather, and traffic from your hometown all morning long.
Now, the latest Fox 61 Weather Impact Forecast.
843, welcome back. Check this out. We continue to follow Tropical Storm Helene this morning. And you're checking out this video from the International Space Station showing how the storm appeared from space. They look like puffy clouds.
Yeah, well, right at the ridge of the planet, you could see that's it right there, and it almost looks like you could see an eye very faintly, which gives you an indication of just how well defined Helene has been. And remember, back on Tuesday, a mere 72 hours ago, we were talking about, oh, this storm was nothing as it left Cancun and Cozumel. And look at what it did in such a short amount of time. It continues, even as a tropical storm, to just pummel parts of upstate North Carolina, South Carolina, into the Smoky Mountains, the Alleghenies.
When is it going to move?
Well, so here's the thing. It's not going out to sea, which is kind of good for us, because otherwise that would mean we get fringe effects up here as well. So no, it's actually going to kind of just weaken and dissipate right over the Tennessee Valley. Not good for them, but the forecast for us is minimal impact from Helene. That said, you see all the clouds as we look ahead? We are talking about some fringe effects of Helene. I'll show you that in a moment. 64 degrees in Hartford, low to mid-60s across the board, just about everywhere. Meriden with the chart topper right now, 67 degrees. It's a little humid out there. The dry air is trying to work its way in, and it is everything north of this line of rain is dry air pushing in with a northerly flow. There's your front, and it's still got some. This is light rain, but it's steady rain, and it really hasn't left the shoreline over the last couple hours. It's gotten, I don't want to say stronger, because it's not stronger, but you see the darker greens over Niantic, over the water into Groton and New London, and then over by Mystic, Knowing, Stonington Harbor. We are talking about just annoying rain is really what it is, but a far cry from what they're seeing in the Carolinas. I'll take this gladly. All right, here is Helene, and as we expand the view, you will see still a pretty well-defined storm. And that's the problem, because even at a tropical storm level of 70 mile per hour, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, it's still dumping a lot of rain, still getting it from the Atlantic Ocean. So the Carolinas, by no means in the clear. As a matter of fact, I would say they still have a good few hours for Charlotte, and then Greensboro, and then up the elevation. And that's what we've been talking about all morning long. Asheville, the Highlands. They're going to have some major issues. Weekend for us is not a washout. The clouds are, again, fringe effects. You'll see as we expand the view, you see this band a little bit, just kind of throwing up this way, some cloud coverage. Should we get any rain? We might get a drip or two tomorrow. I'm not ruling it out, but it's more light than anything else. By Sunday, we start to clear out the forecast a little bit. You can see we're not really convinced there's going to be much in the way of rain. Part of the reason is that dry air. That dry air is taking over, and it's going to just kind of eliminate any of the raindrops trying to fall. Mid-70s for your highs today as we look at the 7-day forecast. Keep it that way for tomorrow. A little cooler for Sunday, but a lot of clouds this weekend. This dreary pattern continues. Even with a little sunshine Monday, our next rainmaker Tuesday into Wednesday, and that symphony, believe it or not, that's fringe effects from Helene as well, as she just kind of spins over the Tennessee Valley. Over to you.
Alrighty, thank you, Matt. We have one last look at your morning commute here. I want to let you know about a couple of construction projects that may impact your ride home this afternoon, starting off with some road work happening in East Windsor right now. I-91 southbound between exits 44 and 42, the left lanes are closed until just after 418, and out in Thompson, 395 southbound, exits 53 and 50, the left lane is closed out there until 3:30. If you're heading out the door, make it a great one.
Well, this morning, a TikTok trend called chroming has health experts concerned about kids' well-being. Chroming is the practice of getting high after inhaling the chemicals found in everyday products like spray, deodorant, nail polish, hairspray, and permanent markers. The term chroming comes from the metallic residue left behind on a rag or plastic bag from the metallic paints sprayed on them. Inhaling fumes is nothing new. The trend of doing so peaked in the 90s when it was called huffing. But with the resurgence of teens inhaling these chemicals, it has experts worried. Breathing in these chemicals can create a brief euphoric effect, but in the long term, it can lead to memory loss, a lower IQ, and inability to concentrate and impaired judgment. In Education Matters this morning, as the school year progresses, some educators are calling for new ways to gauge a child's ability to learn, and that may mean traditional grading may become a thing of the past. Shelley Painter reads between the lines of this new thought process.
No matter their age, when students go through school, many will be told by their parents and teachers that good grades are key to academic success and a bright future. But as we continue diving deeper into the school year, a growing number of educators say that approach could be doing more harm than good.
If you think about how you learn something well, we tend to try something out, make a mistake, get feedback, and then try it again. The grades arrest that process.
Joshua Eiler of the University of Mississippi says school portals where parents have access to their child's grades can make kids feel like they're under a microscope.
For some, that leads to a kind of perfectionism that is completely unhealthy and unproductive for academic success. For others, it just makes them intensely stressed. School becomes a place not of learning and discovery, but of something I just have to get through.
Others can develop something called performance avoidance approaches.
That means that they're not trying to be the best in the class. They're simply trying not to be the worst.
Eiler cautions against using a traditional bell curve to grade students and instead highlights alternative models that give students a variety of ways to show they're absorbing information.
Allow them to focus less on the prize at the end of the race and more on the learning that happens along the way.
And that was Shelley Painter reporting. Now experts say instead of emphasizing their child's grades, parents may want to focus on other elements of their schooling, like topics that they're covering and how they feel about learning. Well, don't forget, we're live and local for you all morning long. And fair food, always fair game. We're checking in with Rachel Piscatelli for more on what we can expect on the other side of this break. Hey, Rachel, what's on tap?
Hey, good morning, Erica. We're here at the Durham Fair, and we're going to be joined this hour by Pierogies for Paws. We're talking their mission, and we're also talking good eats on the other side of the break. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, on air, online, and on demand.
Popeye's crispy, juicy, tender signature chicken is the meal your craving deserves. And now you can get 3 pieces of the chicken you crave for just $5. We don't make sense, we make chicken. Love that chicken from Popeyes.
What I find on this walk is that the things that people care about here in Connecticut really don't change. Cost of living, how much money are they making, how much are they paying in taxes, are their neighborhoods safe? Those are the things that matter. I love Connecticut, and I love this job. I don't take it for granted. I want people in this state to understand that I'm willing to do exceptional things to do the job right.
I'm Chris Murphy, and I approve this message.
Please
slow down for work zones.
We're seeing customers come in every single day. Those are using battery equipment.
Making the switch to battery was one of the best decisions that we made as a company.
This is where the world is headed. It's better to be ahead of it now than get on it later.
Built for you. Built for work. Right now, buy 2 AP300S batteries and get a third AP300S for free. Real steel. Find yours.
If you've been hurt in an accident, don't settle for what the insurance company offers you. Call Chafin Luhana today and find out how much money your case may really be worth.
After my car accident, insurance offered $60,000 to settle, but Chafin Luhana got me nearly $750,000 more.
I called and my case was worth nearly $200,000.
Don't settle. Call Chafin Luhana and find out just how much money your case may really be worth. Call 800-969-6898 right now. That's 800-969-6898.
Electrical problems got you down? Call Aiello Home Services for all your electrical needs today, with no surprise upfront pricing and backed by a workmanship guarantee. Say hello, Aiello.
Live local news all morning long, keeping you informed and helping you make decisions that matter most. Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, on air, online, and the net. It is 8:53, time for Foodie Friday. It is fall, which means it is fair season.
Get ready. We're chatting with Rachel Piscadelli. She's at the Durham Fair this morning. And last hour we saw a cheeseburger, no bun, and said it was grilled cheese. It was really good. That is something else. What do you have this hour, Rachel?
Yeah, so yeah, that burger was out of this world. Now we're at Pierogies for Paws, and they have made, I think, basically everything on the menu. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to try everything because we still have 2 hours left of it. But it is, it looks all really, really good. Introducing you to Mira this morning. Mira, good morning to you. First off, I mean, the food looks delicious, but you're also here raising money. Your Pierogies for Paws. Can you talk a little bit about what that is and what you're here for?
Yes, so Pierogi for Paws is owned by Forever My Heart Foundation, and Forever My Heart Foundation trains service dogs for veterans with disabilities, children with autism, children with disabilities, and facility service dogs for hospitals and police department. So that's how we raise money. It costs about $25,000 to train one dog. You know, they are in our possession for 2 years. So it costs a lot of money and it's a lot of time and efforts to raise one service dog.
Yeah, we here at Fox 61 know how important that is. We have sponsored our own Needs dog as well. Talking about the food here and what we have crepes, pierogies, potato pancakes, and kielbasa. You have really pulled out all the stops for me this morning.
So we have Nutella banana crepes, apple pie crepes, cheesecake with strawberries, buffalo chicken pierogies, which are amazing. Some people think it's weird, but they are really good. The traditional potato and cheese. We have potato pancakes, and then we have grilled kielbasa.
Amazing. Okay, we have somebody here. Hi, I haven't met you yet. I'm Rachel. Who do we have here? Amber. This is Amber. Okay, and what is your first name?
I'm Kim Armstrong.
Kim, thank you so much. Talk a little bit about Amber.
So Amber is a 2.5-year-old lab that we rescued from Ukraine when the war started. And they were service dogs over there, and they needed to be brought over to be worked and to save the dogs from there. Wow. So we paid to bring them over, and they're now service dogs for our veterans and things like that.
And you're with the program as well, correct?
The Pierogies for Paws helps support the dogs.
So if you buy a pierogi, a kielbasa, you are helping support Amber as well. Okay, let's dive into some of the food. So buffalo chicken pierogies. Okay, let's go. I've actually never had this before. Okay. All right, how does one eat this? Just stick it,
Yeah, use your fingers. Perfect.
Oh, that's delicious. That is delicious. Tim and Erica, there's no way I'm getting through all of this, but that's for you guys.
That would be amazing.
Okay. Fine. Listen, I'm going to be there tomorrow.
We have pierogi fans here for sure.
So I'm looking for options. I'll take it.
Oh, that looks really good.
My wife loves pierogies. Buffalo chicken. Curious to see if Carrie.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like anything that's buffalo chicken.
Pretty much. I know. It's just buffalo chicken. All right. There's still a lot to get to. We're live and local through 11 a.m.
The news at 9 is right after this short break. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Greco and Haynes, the well water and water pump experts, want to remind you that seasonal changes can place an added burden on your home's well and water supply. Call Greco and Haynes today for a wellness checkup. Water is our only business.
Men, as we age, the race to be the best we can be is the most important race we run. But if your energy's low, your sex drive is off, and you can't sleep, you may feel like you're losing that race. You aren't, though. You likely just need treatment for low testosterone. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're like most men with low T, after only a few weeks of treatment, you'll find you have increased energy, better sleep patterns, stronger workouts, and your libido will increase as well. So get back to winning your race. Call us today.
I am a grounds maintainer and a family man.
I'm a police officer and an athlete.
I'm an EMT and an animal lover.
I'm a tow truck driver and a world traveler. We all have a life outside of work, and we don't want to lose it.
So when you see our vehicles on the side of the road,
slow down and move over.
Slow down and move over. It's the law.
And it can save a life.
Cozy nights, cannonballs, bubble baths, backup plans. For all the ways you use propane, go with Petro. Our full range of propane services means reliable delivery with no hidden surcharge fees, expert installation and maintenance, and 24/7 live service and support. Go with your local propane pros. Go with Petro. Call today.
Now you can have restaurant quality refrigeration in your kitchen and enjoy a lifetime experience of exquisite pleasure with True Refrigeration. Available now at Arts Appliances in North Haven. Come see this industry-leading line used by chefs and restaurateurs for over 75 years on display in Arts True Kitchen Design Center and experience the kitchen of your dreams. Arts offers you a quality experience, the right price, and service when you need it. Visit our True showroom in North Haven or at artstvonline.com. You'll love the experience.
Enjoy a warm Irish welcome as soon as you step on board your Aer Lingus flight. We love bringing people to amazing places, so fly with us from Bradley International Airport to Ireland and more. At Aer Lingus, you're very welcome.
Right now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, we are still tracking Tropical Storm Helene. We're going to have the latest on the storm's impact across the country and more on what Connecticut is doing to help.
Changes are coming to early child care here in Connecticut. At the half hour, Lindsay Payne explains what officials are doing to help families out.
And
moving into our first home came with a lot of unknowns.
That's why we got Blink Outdoor 4, wire-free smart security cameras.
With HD day and night video and person detection, we never have to wonder.
Our floors don't stay clean very long. That's why I love my Swiffer Web. I pop on a pad and get a mop-like clean floor in just one swipe. Wow. And for hair, try Swiffer Dry Cloths. The fluffy cloths pick up hair like a magnet. Swiffer, you'll love it, or your money back.
There are moments in life that mean something more. Moments that will impact everything. At the Eisenberg School of Management, they're all around you.
We need energetic and committed partners, and it does feel like M&T is one of those partners who will be with us for the long haul.
Kilograms. The operator will feel as if they are holding an object weighing no more than 2 kilograms.
Alright guys, so I'm just under 50 days right now to find a car, source it, buy it, get the parts on order, build the car, and race Mia, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous right now. I haven't heard anything from Mia right now. I don't know if Damon has found her a car, she found a car, or what. The boys are across the world right now, so I'm in the dark. I'm gonna try to FaceTime Mia, and hopefully she'll give me something.
Do you think your car is gonna be 60 grand or 60 grand?
I think it's gonna be 60 grand. I mean, I'm sitting at the table and they're looking at these crazy cars right now, so I want to make sure she's not cheating because I'm on a strict budget. I know how to do this with the money that I'm given. I'm a little concerned with what she's doing. I know exactly what brand I want to get. It's Aston Martin. So much car for the money. And if I can get one myself, I want it to be black on black and be the 4.3 or 4.7 V8. And if I can find a manual one, that would be absolutely perfect. To have a budget to source a car, buy it, modify it, I am so excited to do that, to show it with you guys and share the experience. I'm an average Joe. I don't have a crazy budget on stuff. I started off with buying my first car. I'm gonna age myself out here. 18 years ago, started with a cheap Mustang for $5,000, had a loan on it, paid it off, went up to the next newer Mustang, did the same thing with that, got a loan, got into a Saline Mustang. That was like my top tier expensive car. And during this time, the only way I was able to afford these cars was truly financing them at a really low rate. But I did my research on finding the cars under value, and then when I sold them above value. And I climbed the ladder over the last 18 years, went through Mustangs, Lexus, RC 350 for a little while, went to a Jaguar F-Type, that's where I started working at PFS. Got rid of that car, got my first Gen 1 Aston Martin Vantage at that time. After that, moved into a Gen 1 R8, a lot of fun with that car. And then I pivoted a little bit, did the C8 Corvette. I wanted to see what the craze was with that car. Got out of that, and then got into a newer Vantage. That's the most expensive car by far. But to get to these cars, it wasn't just a handout. And I think it's really cool and to be super relatable to do this journey with you guys, because you don't have to have a super expensive hypercar, $500,000 car, even $100,000 car to truly enjoy these builds. And it's really cool that there's an exotic market for this stuff. So this journey is going to be so cool and special to share with you guys. And I'm pumped. I'm so pumped to see this car today. And it actually could be the one. So another reason I'm excited is, as you guys can see, I'm in a Tesla right now. I know you're going to talk on EV cars. I did too, but this is actually a great daily driver because I got a little baby boy. But this is DDE. Damon and Dave need me in an exotic car because that's what this channel is. And so I am so excited to get back into an exotic car, even any sports car, man. You know, I got to drive Dave's squatter course to Monterey Car Week, which was
How was that?
Surreal.
Yeah.
Talk about like ultimate fan experience, guys. I followed DD before. I met them 6 years ago and I was friends with them. Now I'm like, you know, best friends with the boys. For me to be able to drive a supercharged squadron course 1 of 50 to Monterey Car Week with my brother, who's also in the car scene, and go and play with these cars is absolutely surreal. I'm one of you guys. I'm here to tell you, like, it's crazy. You manifest a lot of things and like things happen. But to take that car to Monterey was so cool. Driving around Monterey, going to the events with the boys, doing stuff with Gumball, it's rad. Like the DD entourage is such a vibe. It's so cool to be a part of. But yeah, this is my Tesla. Don't talk too, it gets me around. But I need to get a car where I can truly daily drive. And I think that Aston is perfect for that. You know, a lot of people think that the cars aren't reliable. They are. As long as you maintain them, you do your oil changes with the car. The clutch is the most expensive part.
How much is that?
Clutch is about $10K.
Whoa! Whoa!
But if you do it yourself, you can actually get it done for sub 5, which is still a lot of money. So if you find the right one, and you don't have a clutch issue, the car's super reliable and it's very inexpensive to maintain. And I'm talking like Ford prices. Half the car is actually Ford and part of the parts are Volvo. So if you start to kind of uncover things, you'll see Volvo on the back of the key. You'll see Ford on the back of some of the parts. So that's what I'm saying. This is a secret car everybody's sleeping on right now. And I love the brand, and I'm so excited to test drive this. We found a good one last week. The guy, Greg, was really cool. We saw in the comments, like, the guy was a character. The only thing that car did not have is that car was a sport shift, which means it's paddle. Otherwise, the car was stupid clean. So I found this car on AutoTrader. It's 2007, so it's the 4.3 motor versus the 4.7.
Why do you want the 4.3?
So 4.3 is the first few years of that car, but that's where you find the manuals.
Oh, okay.
So the manual gearboxes of the early gens were their 4.3. It does rev out actually a little bit higher, which is cool.
Yeah.
But to get a 4.7 and in manual, it's like another 10 or 15 grand more. So I had the 4.7 Sport Shift. It was a cool car. I got to do something different. I miss having a manual gearbox. All my cars have been paddle for a while. So this car right here is a 2007. It's 4.3. It's got 38,000 miles on it. Black on black, which is perfect because I love everything that's black on black. makes it a good platform to wrap or, you know, get a body kit and stuff. And it's asking 45 grand.
What?
So it's 15 grand
Dude, that's
under.
such a steal.
It is. I'm telling you, dude, people are sleeping on these cars. And even for the Ascend community, it's still a good deal. So
45 grand.
45 grand.
30,000 miles, V8 supercar.
And it's manual. And it's manual. And it's clean title.
It's not a
And
disgusting paint color.
no, it's black on black. Like
Yeah,
I don't think it gets better than this car.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to get my hopes up, but it just went up a couple days ago, and this car was, you know, an hour and a half away. So I think this could be the one. And if it is, like, I'm calling the boys from across the world. I'm telling you, like, this is the car. We can't sleep on this one. So I'm excited because we're pulling up right now. So let's see this thing.
Right. We've arrived. You spotted the guy.
Yeah, I saw the car already in the corner. I think this is the car. I haven't even seen it yet. I'm jinxing it.
How long has it been since you had your first advantage of the scene?
I sold it right in the beginning of COVID to fund my wife's engagement ring. So it's been
Good cause.
4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's time, man. How long have you had the car for?
I've had it for 2 years.
Okay.
Yep.
I actually got my car from Phillips.
Oh, cool.
Newport Beach.
Yeah.
That's who you got it
Yeah.
from. No way.
I found this listing, so I had Carrera 2002, and I sold
Interesting
it.
Porsche, yeah.
And I was looking for this car.
Yeah.
And I was looking and looking. I had alerts set on Car Gurus and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And this car popped up. No pictures.
Yeah.
I just saw the mileage, the year, and the color.
Yep.
The price.
Yep.
At 9 p.m. And I called them first thing in the morning
Yep.
until they answered. I was like, I'm coming down.
Dude,
there
I
to see the
swear,
car.
I did the
Yeah.
same thing. I
Yeah.
swear.
And so that's basically how I ended up with it.
Right.
And I bought it on the spot.
Yeah, I know you said like cosmetically there's some stuff going on. Have you had to do anything like maintenance wise or any modifications or all stock?
I did a full annual service when I first got the car and had them check everything out. I had them like make sure the clutch was good, etc. Because as you
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Here, if I open it up and
Please, it's all you.
Another part on the Swan doors that go up, these fail a lot. So your doors stay up.
Yeah. Trunk, hood, doors.
All right.
Is it coming back to you?
It's so weird because, yeah, this is black on black, so the interior is spot on. But I'm not used to manual, which is making this so much better. And it has black Alcantara for the roof, which is not common. This is usually gray, so that's an absolute plus. Dash is all clean. There's going to be normal wear and tear on stuff, but remember, this is a 17-year-old car. That was popped up good. All right, but no issues with like burning oil, coolant-wise, like overheating, all that stuff has been good.
Anything engine related. I think the code I pulled was it's just an emissions code from the CAT, and it went away, like I said.
Okay, so it has not been on, at least not now.
Not for months. Yeah, it was only on for a brief period of time. Okay. I cleared it, got the smog in while it was clear, and then unfortunately it hasn't come back.
Okay. And you recently smogged it?
Yeah, I got the smog in the car.
Wow. It's another door that stays up, so that's a plus. You don't have to get new struts on it. There's got to be some quirks with these cars, and that's kind of what makes it neat too.
Yeah, an old Englishman built it by hand, so.
Yeah, you see like on here, that's what like all this is. This is hand built in England, and if you look at the engine bay, it shows you who built the motor at the time. I can tell it's been repainted. That's where like the overspray is from, which doesn't like. Yeah, so I guess I should clarify. I run a PPF company in paint,
I believe
so I'm not against that. I just more so to be aware of it. I think a lot of yeah.
This I think will come with the play bar, but you.
That'll buff out. But yeah, some of the stuff with like the orange peel usually is like a repaint.
Okay.
It actually has PPF on the front, which is good, because that means that could be taken off and replaced. And then you said some scrapes on the bottom, which is going to be fairly normal for a car that's 17 years old. And the other part that would be like a giveaway would be like the trunk. There's like the 4 lines back here, so that would be more so of like showing like the paint runs. Again, it's just so you're aware of like that stuff. It's not uncommon for these cars for it to happen. It happens. And then yeah, there's just the texture on the back bumper. Having a lot of orange peel specifically in that area would be nice to repaint it, but that's not to nitpick at your car. The cars are going to be driven cars, and that's what makes them cool. Is that people drive these cars as intended. Is it? What are you gonna replace it with?
I'm gonna get a Land Cruiser.
Nice, nice.
On the way over
I want to get one.
At Dinner Alert, pasta a la ketchup.
New Ben's original street food entrees. Real flavor, real fast.
Zyrtec Allergy Relief works fast and lasts a full 24 hours, so you can seize the day.
Wasn't easy finding our gels,
King House.
but it's perfect.
What was easy? Choosing NJM for home insurance. They tailored a policy to our specific needs.
Careful, don't spill the Jable.
With NJM, you get the coverage that's right for you and top-rated customer service.
Now you can save on Cox Internet when you add Cox Mobile, which means fiber-powered internet at home and unbeatable 5G reliability on the go. Do more without spending more. Get Cox Internet for just $35 a month when you add Cox Mobile.
Yeah, dude, that's
Just gonna get
awesome.
one with like 200K miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked up surfing recently, and like I found that surfing is giving me more of a rush than driving us in the canyons.
Yeah.
It's a lot more affordable.
When you're and it's like stoplight.
Yeah.
At least like where I'm at, the canyons are like 2 minutes away.
That was pretty
It's over
close,
there.
but it's
Oh, true.
like
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Would it be cool if I did a test drive just with you? You can't come along, Mark, but you'll have to trust that it'll be a good experience.
Sounds good.
So one thing that's different on this is is the actual key, and then push start on the 4.7 Sport Shift. It's the crystal, which I don't care. I'm not fancy, dude. I like that this is super minimalistic, and it's the manual version. That's the 4.3, so really cool. And the other cool thing is, let me show you, Mark. This has the left-hand side e-brake. So this is what you find in like the Murciélagos and stuff. So it's super uncommon, but it's gonna take a while for you to get used to that.
Not really. I did my research, you know. I probably watched 10 hours of YouTube videos before I bought this car, so I knew all that stuff.
And it stays like the limp, and then you push it
Honestly,
down.
the thing that took me the most getting used to, which you're about to experience, is just that the clutch in these cars is tricky.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah.
And my mom has a Miata.
Yeah.
I just get in that and I can drive it
Yeah.
without even
Yeah.
thinking. This
Yeah.
thing is a little bit more, you know, progressive.
Well, don't get me stalling, Mark. All right, you good?
Yep.
Car drove great. I'm not gonna lie. It's nice being in a manual car. It sounds good. Got on a little bit. Can I give it one small rev here? Okay. I don't know if the property. Yeah. Have you heard it, Mark?
No, I haven't.
Sounds good.
Sounds great.
Better than Mia's Porsche, huh? Do you have the issue with the infamous crack on yours? No. Okay. These are prone to having cracks in there. I know some of the ins and outs of these cars. I'm not gonna lie. I geek out over this stuff. What do you think, Mark?
I think it's a really sick car. I didn't think it sounded that great in person. Sounds good.
Yeah. And just imagine this thing full straight pipe
Yeah.
exhaust, headers, everything. Listen, I know the Porsche will have more mods available for it, but there's no way Mia's car will sound better than this. I'm telling you right now, in 2 months from now, this thing's gonna sound insane. I think we're good here.
Yeah.
The car actually is solid bones, black on black. It's got certain things on there that a lot of them don't have, but it does have paint issues.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
And some of that stuff he wasn't aware of, which I believe. Remember my industry, like I see everything.
Dude, your vision is crazy. Because you would walk around and be like, oh yeah, there's these drip lines here. You see the spots there.
I felt bad. I didn't mean.
Yeah, you didn't tear it apart, but I would never have seen some of those things.
I think you sent me a message. You said, wait, I forgot something. Seriously? Should I walk back over there?
I guess.
It just texted me. Alright, so we're actually a little worried. He just had to come back. He said, wait, and he came running out. The reason why is because Auto Trader has this weird app where you can't give out your personal information. So all this time we've been texting and messaging through the app, but it doesn't allow you to talk off of the app. Very weird. I don't know why they do it, but he just wanted to exchange information, so I appreciate him doing that.
Okay, so the car's good and all.
So like we were saying, but it's got its, normal wear and tear for wheels. That doesn't faze me too much. The interior is actually in really good shape. It does have black Alcantara for the headliner, which is a plus. Yeah. But the paint has this like weird thing going on like on the trunk where there's these lines that go down on both sides. So it's definitely been repainted, but not just there, on a few spots. So when you see like this texture orange peel, that means that the car's been repainted and they didn't really attempt to blend it that well. So a lot of that orange peel that you see on there is just a dead giveaway. So I have to weigh if that really matters for how many use the car, but it definitely has a point of if it's worth it for value. So this does give me a little bit of room for negotiation. I talked to him a little bit about that. It is priced well, but I think I would need to price it a little bit lower to justify it. To kind of go through stuff that's like the scratches on the car. Because even though I do want to wrap the car, in the meantime for the build process, we're documenting everything. I want it to be super clean and meticulous. I think that's what takes builds to a different level, when the car isn't thrashed from the start. But I am excited to see what this one takes. However, we might need to talk about one more future possibility as well, outside of the Vantage Mark. That's actually a really good car. We're talking about budget cars. I know it's not a supercar exotic by any means, but if this was like a sub $30,000 challenge, E92 M3 all day long, for sure. Thoughts on that car?
I think it's pretty sick. I've heard that they're not very reliable. Or that, well, maybe that there's just a lot of preventative maintenance, right? It's like, you get to this many miles, you have to do this or it's going to explode.
Yeah, with the transmission and the motor. But V8 stuff in that car, either DCT or manual, it's pretty untouchable for that car. So E92 would be a great car if we had a lower budget, but don't do that to me, Damon. I'm happy with this budget. I want to build the Aston Martin.
But just imagine what you could do.
Oh, yeah.
You got one for 30 grand and put 30 grand into it.
Oh, all day long. I know they make a ton of superchargers for it. They do turbo kits on it.
Yeah.
Aftermarket support, wheels, suspension, body kit, like
ridiculous.
Insane. That's a lot of car for the money. For $30,000, even high mileage ones for $20,000, nothing even close to it. I think it's time to call Mia.
I think so.
Because I haven't heard anything from Damon and Dave, and it wouldn't surprise me if Damon bought her a car. And I want to see if I can just get anything out of her to understand what's going on. So I'll try to give her a call right now. Hey! It's just me right now. Mark's not here. Don't worry about anything. I haven't heard anything from your dad or Dave, and I know they're in another country right now, but I'm concerned that he bought you a car and you guys aren't telling me.
I can't tell you. That would give you an advantage.
Did you guys go car shopping in Canada?
No, we did not.
You're lying right now. You guys went car shopping. You went car shopping. Yes.
Possibly.
Okay, it's either that or the white Porsche you guys got.
Yeah, there's a couple contenders.
But you didn't buy anything yet.
Not yet.
I can't. Oh, that's just lying. You have a bad poker face because you're smiling a lot, but I still don't know if you guys bought a car.
Still don't know, see?
So I found cars I like, but I don't know if it's going to work for the exact goal. But I'm wondering if I'm getting too picky right now, and I just want to know if you guys bought a car. So is it a 991 or 997 that you guys got?
Looking at two. I believe one's a 997 and one's a 991.
Yeah, but which one did you guys get?
We haven't got one.
All right, I'm not getting anything out of this. Did you go shopping for mods yet? I know you're asking questions on how to modify the car. Have you looked for like the body kit, like exhaust wheels, stuff like that?
No, we've literally done nothing. We went to August and we did some Lambo shopping for my dad, but not for me. Dad always comes first. I'm second. I don't have a Porsche. I don't have anything for it yet. I have ideas, but I do not have anything yet because, like you said, he's out of the country, so.
I don't trust her. 100% bought a car.
Think so?
100% got a car, man. I actually thought I was in the lead, but she has no poker face. She's smiling. Whether she bought the car or Damon did, I have no idea. But yeah, I gotta figure something out. This car we looked at is actually a really good contender. I don't know if I need to negotiate a little bit because of the paint condition, but I think if I wait too long, he might sell it. So there's one more thing I want to throw out there. That would be, it is an Aston Martin, but it'd be a different platform and it might have the secret sauce. So I think we should go look at that right now because they're up to something. Something's going on right now. And Damon and Dave won't respond to me because they're on Gumball. So we have to take it upon ourselves, man. So you trust me?
We're on a mission.
All right. We're going to try a different approach to all this and maybe not go after the car that I was originally talking about. I saw in the comments there was a specific thing about Aston Martin that people were saying that I should look at. So I'm going to try this approach and see what we can find here. You can see we're at Aston Martin Newport Beach. First thing that gets my attention is this is the 2025 Aston Martin Vantage. So it's a facelift off of the previous Aston that I had. That was a 2020. So they completely redid the front end. And the interior is all brand new on it as well. But What are your thoughts on this, man?
Dude, it looks crazy. It's so wide.
And the color combination, kind of this like champagne color with the bronze.
I like the wheels a lot.
With the carbon rear diffuser, chrome tips.
Yeah, look at that, guys.
Maybe not like how I would
That's pretty
expect it,
wild.
but it's a lot more wild. These are brand new with the new cutouts on this
Yeah.
body stock for like the V12. Sadly, this is not the car that we're looking at here.
Oh.
A little bit out of the budget.
You can't afford this one?
I can't afford this one, but I want to see what I can afford, so I'm going to see what they have in their inventory.
What about that guy, Mike?
I can't afford that one either.
Really?
No, that thing's probably stupid. What do you think? Maybe for Tim?
Maybe for Tim.
That's not a dig at you, Tim. I just think Tim would enjoy this.
Jason, this might be in your budget.
That might be
You get yourself a Aston.
yeah, might be totally good.
We'll let you take it home today.
I hope there's a motor on there.
No, I think you're just going for it.
I'll just put Dave in the box. We're in a challenge right now where he's getting an entry-level exotic car, and my brain is asking that, right?
I love it. I like this.
What on the lot for people that are at home right now, what would you say for what you guys have right now would be your entry-level Aston Martin?
I don't even have any on the lot at the
There's gotta be
moment.
something
I will. So I'll tell you the best from my perspective. For if we're on a budget, and we're looking at pre-owned, what I think is the best value I have for an Aston. And it's close enough. 2017 we launched EV11, right? As you're familiar with.
Yeah.
Only available in a V12.
Oh, it is.
In 2017. Yep.
And prior to that, they had a V8 model.
They didn't get the V8 came after that in 2018 and a half.
Got it.
Got V8.
Got it. Okay.
2017 V12, basically like a launch edition.
Got it.
Only almost 8,000 miles on it. Super clean, raw carbon, lightning silver with black. We have some PPF on here. On consignment right now. 600 horsepower, sounds amazing. One of the best designs out there. When you see it, obviously it hits.
Very James Bond. Very long, vented hood. And you got a V12 stuffed in it.
V12 stuffed in there. And it's a clamshell, so it's going to open towards you. Come on,
forward.
who doesn't want that level
Yes,
exotic?
yes.
That's what we're talking. Swan wing doors.
Yes.
SoFi is helping me get my money right to achieve my ambitions. Like earning more money on My Money as a head chef. Ready for service? Bank with SoFi to earn a high APY and an epic welcome bonus.
Empower knowledge workers with AI-powered business productivity software.
Your car's headlight bulbs can lose up to 50 feet of visibility before burnout. Switch to Sylvania today. See better tonight.
Open them up. So this right now to me is probably the best. I would obviously recommend a pre-owned Vantage at any point, but I only have the new one.
Okay.
But for the value, it's 124 grand with a warranty, a year warranty, and it makes a fantastic sound. It's got a lot of pull. It's a great car.
124.
124.
That's actually a great buy. Actually, way cheaper than I thought it was going to be. But for what we're looking for right now, I need something cheaper.
Okay, talk to me.
How about like the Vanquishes over there?
Those Vanquishes are dope.
And what?
I'm not allowed. That's a horrible. Can you scratch that? That's an old
He
Matthew
said no.
Parsons adjective.
He said no. No, that's
I'm
good.
old.
That's
That
good.
is quit
One of
that.
these has to be. One of these has to be less than this.
It is. Yes. 2014.
Okay.
Debut of the Vanquish.
Yes.
Second gen.
V12.
V12,
Yes.
naturally aspirated.
Swan doors.
Swan wing doors, one of the best styling. We have one in a Bond color, quantum silver.
Yes.
Obviously, fantastic sound, great look, timeless design. With launch of Vanquish came lots of carbon.
Yep.
You've got
177 inspired things on this car.
All kinds of 177 inspired things.
Which, if you guys don't know what a 177 is, look it up right now. Insane car.
That's the next car we're gonna get.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna get, but have you guys had a 177?
Never. I've only seen it at Pebble.
We had one come through the shop. It's the same owner as the Vulcan.
Yeah.
And we did full PPF on that car. And that car is absolutely insane. Talk about raw, the transmission, just the get.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But this has a lot of inspiration from the 177.
It does, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
everything styling-wise, especially.
Yes.
And this is a great bang for the buck.
It is.
Obviously, has 18, I think, right over 18,000 miles.
Yes.
Has Clear Bra on it. So on the front, you've got, and you're familiar with Clear
A
Bra.
little
right?
bit. I know a little
Tell
bit.
you about that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Really clean. Leather is one of the things that I look for.
Yeah.
Leather up top is
Yep.
nice.
Stitching's all good.
Driving, it's a little dirty at the moment.
It's okay.
But steering wheel, column, you don't have a lot of marks on it.
Yep.
From jewelry.
Yep.
I mean, this car is obviously a great car for Aston.
Totally. And with the miles on it and the price point, there's really nothing that comes close to something like this.
Look at your
bang for the
original
buck.
MSRP.
Totally.
$321,000.
So there's the price point we're talking about, which is for some of the brands out there, Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, you can't find a car for that value. You get this car where someone has already owned it once or twice, and then someone who comes in like me is absolutely stoked to get into a car that they're doing for it, and they do so well. So this is actually a great candidate. So it's at 108. Slightly out of my price range still.
I love it. What if I told you the third time is a charm, Jason?
Do you have something
But
here?
it's not here.
Is it the same car I'm thinking of?
A DB9 or a DB7?
Is it a V12?
Both are V12s.
So this is the one that I saw.
There are no pictures yet. Photos coming soon. Yes.
What are your thoughts on this car? I haven't seen it.
The DB7? It's a gorgeous color combo.
Okay.
It's bowling black, I believe. With
Perfect.
a
It's
fawn
black, so that's
interior.
good. Okay.
Let me see if I have photos.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Which is nice because this might be a car that I can pick up sight unseen before they even put it to market. And it's a V12, which is...
It's the Vantage. So
The V12 is the one thing that we have not looked at. We looked at manual V8, and I could go a completely different route, which is a straight pipe Pagani sounding V12, which is something that a lot of people have been wanting to see and hear. Looks wise might not be as cool, a bit more classic.
classic Ford era design,
Yeah.
which is great though.
Yeah.
Ian Callum,
Yes.
Penn car,
Yeah.
famous car, one of the car that saved the company.
But how would you feel if we hacked it up and did a bunch of stuff to it?
He'd love it.
No.
He's doing the same thing with the Vanquish right
Big
now.
ring on it.
That's different.
Straight pipe exhaust.
Different.
Great.
The people had passed away. So we didn't have that so far. Not saying it can't happen. Not saying when you get into Keaton Beach and some of these areas that you won't see that. It's possible. But I was just glad to hear that these rescue missions have been successful. And these were not easy missions all the time because you're trudging through some hazardous stuff. We had boats out with Fish and Wildlife. We had helicopters out with Florida National Guard. The local first responders were marshaling all their assets to be able to go. So they made a really big difference, and we were pleased that those were successful efforts. But they're ongoing, and there's going to be, as I mentioned, if there was a certain part of the state where there were calls in and they went and they found the folks, brought them to safety, great, but there may be other homes there or other structures that they didn't necessarily get a call from. Well, they're going to go and check those today, and they're going to go to see. And it may be that they find something, hopefully not, but that's where they are. But they were successful in these very quick response. And we always say, if you stay behind, just understand you may not get immediate response if it's very dangerous, because a sheriff or National Guard leader, they're not going to want to send people in if that's going to cause casualties or run the risk of that. But I think what you saw...
We ventured out into the 100-degree heat in the Arizona desert to create our third ever documentary, this time showing the construction and the operation of one of the world's most advanced manufacturing facilities. Next door to the sprawling construction site is an operational silicon fabrication plant that has secret passageways filled with automated systems designed to transport wafers and other components from point to point. It also has tunnels that bridge the fabs to each other. And even though we all look the same in these dust-free bunny suits, just like in
What's
school,
gonna happen?
Everybody knows who the cool kid is. But outside and in the blistering heat, endless cranes slowly bring together one of the USA's biggest technology construction projects. And we were privileged enough to witness a special moment. The whole crew anticipated this one, where one of the single most important heavy-duty facilities was put into place. This entire facility is something that Intel refers to as a mega fab, and it's easy to see why. During all the chaos of touring this overwhelming facility, I realized I need some help to understand what's going on. So Michael Fendrick, engineering manager at Intel, gave us the basics.
Sure, so now that we have the photoresist on there, we have the exposed areas, we may be doing some type of ion implanting. We want to change the properties of that portion.
I don't want to sound like an idiot, but what is ion implanting?
Sure, so it's a semiconductor. I either need to make that region positive or I need to make it negative. Okay. So I got to either implant something with a valence of 3.
And then I realized I need some help to understand the previous help that I needed. So we arranged a technical discussion with an independent technical analyst whom we hold in high regard, David Cantor, to help translate what all of this means and define the processes.
One of the things to keep in mind here is a lot of the issues. It's easy to talk about, oh, we want to make a transistor. And, you know, do a first order approximation. Any grad student can make a transistor.
Yes, anyone can make a transistor. We made this video and we're self-funding this documentary with our new factory tour foil t-shirt. Our cyber skeleton shirt from our last investigation is shipping now, and following that up, we're taking pre-orders for this custom factory tour t-shirt with a brand new ultra shiny blue and silver foil, forming a skeletal outline with tools we've seen in factories.
That's
from
badass.
our educational series. The ribcage even has front opening unified pods, or FOUPs, that are found in silicon
I gotta
fabs
get one
around
of
the
those.
world, including the one we're touring today. The back features an ultra shiny foil spine down the center with surface mount devices that might be found attached by an SMT line. This Intel Fab Tour is a special video for us. As you all know, Gamers Nexus pays for all of its own travel costs and all the costs associated with making this content, meaning we retain complete and total editorial control. It took months of negotiation to get Intel to even agree to those terms, including allowing us to explore parts of the fab that they've never before shown to media. And it took us over a year of collecting all the pieces, interviews, and performing the edits for this documentary, plus all the fact-checking for both independent and Intel engineers. We're able to make all this happen with complete financial independence from the video subject because of your support. Head over to store.gamersnexus.net to help fund our future independently produced documentaries and this one. You can grab one of our brand new factory tour shirts, our high heat resistant silicone soldering and project mats, 3D coaster packs, drinkware, and more. Thank you for your support. All this talk of material deposition, ion implanting, photoresists, masks gets incredibly complex. So we need some foundational information, and we're learning right alongside the audience today. We'll start with construction of a fab, since we need one before any silicon-based electronics can even be made. Now it's time to start our journey. When we synchronize the mics with the camera, you gotta clap.
Okay.
So you gotta do it loud.
Okay.
You got to bring it.
Bam.
All right.
There we go.
That's good.
This is Ron Young, Senior Construction Project Manager at Intel. He knows a lot about building fabs.
In terms of my role, I'm one of the 4 leaders of the project. In terms of my specific scope domain, I'm over the CSA, the Civil Structural Architectural, as well as the clean room build out for these buildings that you see behind us. So the building, what's actually being built, and then the clean room inside is my responsibility. This is actually a very critical section of the site. Both of these areas that you see. So the area to approximately my 1 o'clock position, that is our batch plant. That's where we make concrete. This area right here, this is a fabrication yard for the truss elements that actually form the roof of the fab building itself.
There are 4 key fab components to discuss today: electricity, water and reclamation, dust filtering in the clean room, and transportation, including for wafers, people, gases, or chemicals. The capacity, distribution, and handling of electricity is critical for a fab. Loss of power can cause hundreds of millions of dollars in damages even if temporary. In fact, a Samsung fab in Austin, Texas was shut down due to power availability during the Texas freeze previously. This caused an impact to 71,000 wafers. The month-long shutdown cost Samsung between $268 million and $357 million. But for how much power these campuses use, Intel's Ocotillo location used 2 billion kilowatt hours of electricity in 2023. Of these, it self-generated about 11 million kilowatt hours through solar. To handle all of that, Intel needs a special structure installed on its roof, and it takes one of the largest cranes in the world to install.
Now, Ron, I want to ask first, when we were walking up here, you saw something going up on a crane. You said, that's a big deal.
Absolutely.
Why was it a big deal? What was it?
That is the E-House. There's only a couple of those that sit on top of the fab building, and the responsibility for those pieces of equipment is to distribute power throughout the fab. Without the power, we have no operating fab. So this is a critical element in order to realize the end state, which is to bake wafers. You're looking at about 150,000 pounds of equipment. So it's a very sizable load. You need a very large crane to place it.
From what I understand, it's actually a somewhat special crane as well.
It's extremely special crane. There's only about 7 of them in the world. This is the Liebherr 13,000
Nice.
13,000 crane, which has a capacity of 3,000 tons.
Oh, shit.
It's the largest crawler crane in the world. So it moves. So as the site progresses, you move the crane along with it. It rolls on tracks. It's like a track.
And Intel has a special name for that crane.
What is it?
Skyreacher.
Skyreacher.
Your first guess might be that Todd Howard named it, but actually a student at a local school did. And Skyreacher is ginormous. Its 3,000 ton capacity means it could lift about 2,000 porta potties simultaneously. But more realistically, it mostly handles massive structures, like huge truss work, beams, and prefab elements or components like the E-houses. This fab is about 95 feet tall, and given the weight of some of the equipment, the ordinary cranes can't handle it all. But Intel's construction firm, Hoffman Construction, has countless normal cranes on the site as well. Chillers are another heavy piece of equipment. Intel, once again, doesn't like using normal measurements. They say a chiller weighs between 12 and 16 African elephants. Frankly, we're concerned with the obsession with elephants in this industry.
Okay, so 3,000 pounds, ton and a half. So it's not quite an elephant. 4 elephants. 1 GPU.
In a more useful number, that's about 200,000 pounds, or in metric, 4 Stonehenges. Intel also has to deal with water and utilities, and it's not easy with the fab.
We're adjacent to a structure that we call a trestle, which is for conveying utilities and electric power throughout the site.
Okay.
And so that structure is actually currently being built out, and we're a part of the infrastructure in order to facilitate that build out.
The trestle consists of 400 modular trestles, or steel beams, that measure nearly 1.5 miles in length. And what about all of this behind us in the background? So,
yeah,
what's going on here?
Yeah, this is part of our expansion. As I mentioned, we've got 4 facilities today. We're adding those 5th and 6th. And as we get to that scale, what you see outside there is a air separation unit. Those towers are part of an air separation unit to allow us to break down ambient air to provide our own, nitrogen, oxygen, and then use those in the scale we're going to use them on this campus with 6 facilities. Those towers allow for filtration as they, through pressure and temperature, separate air into its composite molecule. In addition to that, we'll be having the hydrolyzers that will break down water to produce hydrogen. In order to provide the gases needed or the other facilities, we have a trestle that has to convey these facilities around the campus because of just, again, the scale of the campus. It's, again, that dichotomy between the size of everything here and then, our daily process on the transistor.
But water is another consideration. All fabs use a lot of water, whether that's TSMC's, Intel's, or others, to the point that global chip manufacturing should be carefully monitored for its extreme water consumption, especially if you have a fab in your backyard. The water is used throughout the manufacturing process to maintain support systems like scrubbers and cooling towers, and also to clean wafers and maintain a clean environment.
Yeah, here in Ocotillo, we have two facilities. We have one is our quote-unquote water, which allows us to treat and recycle water, and our brine facility, which also allows us to treat and reclaim water with the city of Chandler. The water facility allows us to basically recycle more than 9 million gallons per day of water, and our brine facility on this campus has treated more than 5 billion gallons of water since 1995.
This fab is still years in the making.
Michael, do you have any kind of rough timeline you want to set?
No, at this time, we're still talking about construction and
Yeah.
the 3 to 5 years for completion of this.
You're still in the 3 to 5 years, basically.
We're still within that range.
Can I ask, when did ground break? When did it start?
September 2021.
Okay, cool.
Rather than wait the rest of the 3 to 5 years, we just asked if we could go into one of the completed fabs, Fab 42.
Why would I use Kayak to compare hundreds of travel sites at once? I like to do things myself. I can't trust anything else to do the job right.
Kayak, switch one and done. So, I didn't think I needed Swiffer until I saw how easily it picked up my hair every time I dried it. It only takes a minute. Look at that. The heavy-duty cloths are extra thick for amazing trap and lock, even for his hair. Wow, you'll love Swiffer or your money back.
Find your career at GodHaveMadeCT.com.
And that required suiting up. These suits are commonly referred to as bunny suits, and they're necessary to keep dust, skin particles, eyelashes, and hair out of Intel's wafers. Something about a single hair strand potentially causing tens of thousands of dollars of damage, if not more. And because my insurance doesn't cover damage to wafers, I went through half of Intel's hairnet supply.